Wow, Geno, said Reaper as they stepped off the bus. I've never been anywhere this fancy. Geno smirked. Only the best for my baby, he cooed and kissed Reaper on the cheek, who blushed in response. They walked into the lobby, and Reaper gasped at the sight. There were hundreds of waiters, all dressed in tuxedos, and all rushing to get to their customers. Geno wrapped his arm around Reaper's, making him snap out of his observation. They walked up to the check-in booth, and Geno said to the well-dressed Spider, "Hello, we have a table reserved for Geno and Reaper." The Spider ran his hairy leg down the guest list. "I am sorry, sir, but you do not have a reservation," he said politely. Anger flashed across Geno's face, but he quickly responded. "No, I've had this planned for months. I did make a reservation," he said, trying to keep his composure. The Spider closed the guest book and said sternly, "I am sorry, but you did not. I need you to leave." Geno's eyes started to emit a light glow as he raised his voice. "I did make a reservation. In fact, I spoke with Muppet herself." Reaper could feel the tension and grabbed onto Geno's arm. "Geno, it's fine. We can go somewhere else," he stammered. Geno looked down at the smaller and flashed a reassuring smile. He looked back up at the Spider with anger painted on his face. He leaned forward and hissed softly into his ear. "All right, here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna go to the back and get Muppet so I can sort this out. Or you're going to be a stain on my shoe. Got it?" The Spider shook and nodded before scurrying away. Geno turned back at Reaper, who was pouting. "You can't fix everything by threatening people," he said, and Geno smirked. He pulled the smaller into a hug and pecked the top of his skull. "But it is a pretty effective method." Reaper huffed and rolled his eyes. The Spider scurried back towards the couple. "Miss Muffet will be here shortly," he stammered, and directed the two skeletons to a fancy couch. "Please sit." Reaper went to sit on the couch, and Geno bent down towards the Spider. "Thank you," he said, pulling out the duct tape wallet Reaper made him, and took out a 5. He tucked the bill into the collar of the Spider's suit. The Spider nodded, then scurried away. Geno sat next to Reaper, his arm wrapped around his lover. "Super amazing times skip!" Muffet smoothed down her skirt as she walked into the lobby of the restaurant. She smiled sweetly at the couple as she shook Geno's hand. "Hello," she said in a sing-song voice. Her eyes drifted down to Reaper, who was latched onto Geno's arms. She gasped. "You must be Reaper!" she exclaimed cheerfully. "Geno has been telling me all about you. He's been planning this for months, and now I see why he wanted it to be perfect." Muffet bent down and kissed Reaper on both his cheeks as a greeting. She turned to Reaper and whispered softly, "You got a good one."